I got a jar full of empties. Why today?
I've had lots of time to think about it. You see, I've been here a long time, a really long time, before you got this job.
Yes, I know. Did you ever speak of it to Dr. Caspin?
Oh no, I could have never done that.
Why not? It seemed like a nice enough guy to me.
Oh, he surely was. Just sort of strange, you know?
He gave that impression, did he?
He always wanted to talk about my folks, as if they had anything to do with Michael. They didn't even like Michael. I mean, Mama liked Michael well enough, but Daddy didn't take to Michael much.
Why was that, do you think?
I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Were you still working for Michael then?
I always worked for Michael. It was a good job.
It must have been. I'll have to tell you about some of the wacky jobs I had getting through medical school. Everything from bellhop to Taco Bell.
This wasn't like that.
How was it?
I did secretarial type work. Michael always called me as an assistant, though. He's like that, building people up, you know?
He looked out for your best interest?
Well, I was stuck all the way down in the accounting department, and he said he had his eye out on me for a long time, and I looked like I knew how to get what I wanted, you know?
And you liked that?
Of course I like that. Wouldn't you?
So Michael did things spontaneously?
Oh, yes. Michael is very spontaneous.
I see.
Michael is like one of them horses you see on a merry-go-round. Always bright and painted up in bright colors. Always ready, always prancing, always ready to go. You just pay your ticket and pick your painted horse and he's off. Lights blaring, music blaring, lights flashing, going up and down, round and round, colors making you dizzy. Then before you know it, he's got you reaching for that brass ring.
Laura, how long was it after you started being Michael's assistant that you and he started seeing each other socially?
Oh, a couple of months. You know, Michael was very careful. Didn't want no office gossip.
All this attention, it must have made you feel very special, maybe different?
I was different, and they were sorry little tramps. Michael and me was in love, and it was pretty obvious, even in them backstabbing lowlifes. Michael...
So you're going back to school?
Yeah, well, I read an article in a magazine a few weeks ago, and it was learning to type for Braille, for the blind people, you know, so they can read and type and all that. I'm going to school to learn how to do that after I get out of here.
Well, now, that's news. How long will this take?
Oh, a couple of years, I guess. The thing is, they're not really picky on the people they get because there's such a shortage. But I intend to be so good that it won't matter that I've been locked away in here.
Then this Michael thing, it's over?
Michael? Well, sure it's over. I mean, I remember it all, everything. But, sure, it's over. He can't very well love me when I'm locked away in here.
I would have thought Michael could.
Well, things change. Michael loved me, and he told me so all the time.
Do you believe that, Laura?
Don't say you didn't, or I'll walk out of here right now. Why, we used to drive around in his limousine of his, him, me, I, and Robert. We'd always used to just drive around, and if I forgot my lunch, then he'd send Robert to go get me some, and it'd be wrapped in a little red ribbon.
Just when was it that Mrs. Sanders found out about you and Michael?
Mrs. Sanders? You mean Michael's wife?
Well, yeah, Michael's wife.
She ruined everything.
How so?
Poor Michael. It was just so sad. He wanted a divorce.
So he could marry you?
Of course to marry me. He wanted to marry me. He was going to sell his house and buy one in Rivers Oak just as soon as we could get together. But Caroline, his wife, you know, well, Caroline wouldn't let him go. She was going to take everything.
She didn't have to take anything, Laura. She had everything.
Yes, she did. The business, the money for the business, you see, it was all with her family. The house, it was all tied up with her family. She just paid $38,000 for an old rug on her dining room floor. Can you imagine $38,000? That's more than I make in a year, and she has it on her floor.
But it was her floor, Laura. Her home and her husband. Don't you think she was entitled to something?
No, she had everything.
Did it ever occur to you that Michael was feeding you a line of good old-fashioned garbage?
No.
Didn't you say he didn't tell you anything about her and her family? Okay, well, continuing. How did you feel about him not wanting to be with you and
I just felt as if my life was over.
How did you feel about that? He left you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just felt as if I felt horrible. As if everyone thought, like, I knew everyone was laughing at me. Everyone thought that he just got tired of his stupid bimbo and just went off without me.
By himself?
Oh, he took Caroline and the jet and the limo, and it was me missing out on anything. No, Michael wasn't there for me anymore. But I understood. He cried when he told me, you know? Then I cried.
What did he say?
He said that he wanted things to be different, that he wanted to marry me, but he could never get away from Caroline, that things couldn't change.
Did you hate him for that?
No, I just felt as if my life was over.
What did you do? What did you do, Laura?
You know the court, you know all about that.
Why don't you tell me so I get it all straight?
I knew a guy named Bobby Guthrie. He had a cousin Odell who'd do about anything for money. I hired him and he did it.
He killed Caroline?
Well, yeah, it was easy. The alarm system at their house was broken. He came by my office and I gave him a key.
I think the prosecution pointed that out.
Oh yeah, that was pretty stupid. But I didn't want him to try to break in and have that crazy lady call the cops.
I guess not.
Well, I mean, it cost me a lot of money. It cost me about $5,000, but he went over there and he blew her brains all over the bedroom.
You saw the bedroom?
No, but I knew all the same. I was talking to her on the phone when it happened. I heard it all.
He didn't get a chance to spend much of the money.
No, that's because he's dumber than dirt. Drove right past the security guard who nailed the license number. And what? You know, it wasn't 2 hours and they had Bobby Guthrie and Odell spilling their guts all over the police station. They was scared, I can tell you that.
I would have been myself. How long did it take for the police to round everyone up?
Not very long. They had me before I left the office. But that's what I get for being a good sport.
How do you mean?
Well, Odell was having trouble with his car. So I landed mine.
And now you're here.
I know. I just loved Michael. I wanted the life he gave me and then took away. I loved him. I still do.
Do you know what's happened to Michael, Loretta? Do you know about his life?
I read the papers.
Yes, I know you read the papers, but do you really understand?
Meaning no disrespect, Doctor. I understand that he went away, and I understand that he married his lady pilot soon after Caroline died. They have a son, and he goes to St. John's. Understand that my dad sold everything he had to save me from dying, and I understand it'll be a long time before I can go home.